everyone, we will be talking about blended learning and hybrid course models. We are going to be talking about what these models are, how they can be applied to the classroom, some of the strengths and weaknesses of these models, and how they might be applied in the future. This presentation was developed by Group 5. Blended learning is an instructional method that includes the efficiency and socialization opportunities of the traditional face-to-face classroom with the digitally enhanced learning possibilities of the online mode of delivery. Technology is a part of everyone's daily life, and as educators, it is time to accept that the world is changing. In Caitlin Tucker's book, Blended Learning in Action, she asks if we are going to be ready for it. We need to decide whether education is going to be the Netflix or the Blockbuster of the future. Blended and hybrid model courses are educational methodologies that blend online and/or digital components with face-to-face instruction, which push into the future of education. The history of these models go back further than you might think. Blended learning is a strategic combination of online and in-person learning. A common K-12 definition adds that the blended needs to provide students with some control over time, place, path, and/or pace. This model first originated in the 1960s, but the term itself was not coined until 1999 when the American Interactive Learning Center began to launch software programs designed for teaching over the internet. A hybrid approach to course delivery combines face-to-face classroom instruction with online activities. This approach reduces the amount of seat time in a traditional face-to-face course and moves more of the course delivery online. During classroom instruction time, students can be engaged in authentic collaborative learning experiences. The online components can include multimedia, enhanced content, and channels for ongoing discussion. While blended learning is designed to complement in-person instruction with online materials and activities, the hybrid model is designed to focus more on maintaining balance between online and offline learning. This Venn diagram demonstrates the differences between the two models. In the middle, we see the most important similarity, which is that they both provide engaging learning opportunities to students by combining face-to-face medium of instruction with online learning opportunities. This timeline shows the evolution of blended learning throughout the years. There are many models in which blended learning or hybrid learning takes shape in education. The face-to-face model is where the teacher teaches a lesson both in person and virtually, synchronously. The flipped classroom model is where learners are provided with their learning materials, reading, and information before class for them to review before coming to class either virtually or in person for a more in-depth discovery of the teacher's topic. The rotational model provides students with individualized instruction with the use of computers, internet, or other technology, and then allows them to rotate to in-group instructions with a live teacher. This provides flexibility in tasks for the student, but also allows for a strong teacher-led course guidance. The flex model allows a similar rotation, but instead of rotating between technology focusing tasks and teacher-led instruction, the students can jump between synchronous and asynchronous learning, leaving the choice of how to utilize the teacher up to the individual student. Two other models seen are the online driver and enriched virtual model. The online driver model gives the learner the most autonomy. The class provides the resources, recorded webinars, and other content needed to master the class, with a teacher available but not required to interact with. The enriched virtual model is very similar, except the webinars are teacher-led and touch points with the teacher are often required to pass the class. There are many advantages to the blended learning or hybrid classroom. Research shows that these classroom models can increase student achievement and allow for more individualized learning plans. There is also a lot of variability in learning models, allowing flexibility for the teacher to better meet the student's learning needs. New technologies are being developed regularly to improve these models and support educators who adopt them. Some of the disadvantages noted by researchers is the reliance on technology and internet to facilitate learning. Often this can lead to inequalities because students in less funded programs or homes may not have access to all the technology needed to excel in a course of this model. Before adoption of these hybrid models, schools must first assess the community they serve to ensure every student has the same access to the tools to excel. With new technology being developed regularly, teachers can also suffer from technology overload because of the time required to learn these new softwares. Research on K through 12 blended learning reveals that teaching effectively in a blended environment is not simply a matter of learning to use technology or changing the medium. Blended teaching requires that teachers not only understand the technology and its uses, but also that they are able to think through the way in which technology can serve the learning. Furthermore, they need to be able to think about how the two modalities of face-to-face teaching and online facilitation blend and impact the teaching and learning relationships. Most importantly, they need to make a shift to more of a facilitation role and rethink what instruction looks like. Hybrid and blended learning methodologies are becoming more advanced all the time with increased cloud-based potential, enhanced synergy, and more creativity by the instructors and students, to just name a few examples. According to Baldwin and Ching, hybrid and blended learning will enhance not only the relationship between the educator and learner by creating a more interactive environment, but will also increase the student knowledge and retention of the content. Ultimately, blended and hybrid learning models is well received and is even being used in many of our team members' line of work. Some general leading questions our team has for further investigation include: how do we advocate for this type of learning style with our district leaders? Does the learner lose a valuable tool in the learning process when they decide to take a course online instead of in person? As the explosion of hybrid models happened after COVID-19 pandemic, do you think future learners will still show interest in these models or go back to face-to-face? Also, how do we ensure this forward-thinking learning approach is made available to all students, regardless of district? Here are some additional resources for everyone if you're interested in learning more about these types of models. And here are the references for our presentation. Thank you all so much, and I hope you have a great time learning about blended and hybrid learning models.